A charity in Salford says that people are being forced to sleep on the streets after the City Council withdrew housing benefit for the users of an emergency night shelter. The Narrowgate shelter in Pendleton was the only facility of its kind for the homeless in Salford and Manchester, but has now closed after losing the funding.
Salford City Council says it's had to make the decision after a legal case involving a similar shelter in Wales. Naomi Cornwell reports.
Until 2 weeks ago, Adrian was relying on the Narrowgate shelter for somewhere to sleep at night. Now he can only visit the drop-in cafe during the day.
Well, that means I'm on the streets, sleeping rough. What can I do? I'm struggling to find places to stay.
And while Adrian sleeps rough, the beds here remain empty. The centre's night shelter was forced to close after Salford City Council informed the charity that it could no longer accept housing benefit, its main source of income.
There were tears that were welling up in some people's eyes. They had to suddenly think, oh, what am I going to do overnight now? It was heartrending.
Salford City Council says it had to take the decision following a court case in Anglesey. There, a judge ruled that an emergency shelter is not a home because people can't stay there during the day or leave their belongings, and so is ineligible for housing benefit. 28 men and women had been sleeping here up to the time of the shelter's closure. Now the fear is that many of them could have little choice but to sleep on the streets. Today, the Department for Work and Pensions told us that the Anglesey case had not set a new legal precedent. But Salford City Council disagrees. It declined an interview, but in a statement told us that it received legal advice that the shelter is identical to the one in Wales, and so the judge's ruling applies. It says it's working with the charity and that it's up to other councils to make their own decision. And others have. Blackpool Council says this emergency shelter in the town operates in the same way to the Salford one, but its lawyers believe it's unaffected by the ruling. Adrian just wants an end to the confusion.
Some of these kids at 18 on the streets, man, got nowhere to go, they've got nothing to turn to.
Naomi Cornwell, BBC North West Tonight in Salford.
Some of the day's other stories from around the North West.